I just wanted to test it. I mean, because this is a 2-hour meeting, and what the size will be.
Right. It probably wouldn't have been very large because we're not doing anything fancy. If that has anything to do with it, I don't know. Okay, so I guess that's my only question, and I'm now recording. Okay.
Good. Which I see, yes.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Jeff.
Oh, good morning, George. Eckert. Cheetah. Hi, Cheetah.
Cheetah, hi.
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Jeff. How are you?
Oh, good. Staying busy as heck since this damn pandemic started.
What was that, Jeff?
Yeah, I haven't had a day off.
You have a day off?
Oh, I haven't had a day off. Yeah.
Oh, you have?
The Apple, the Apple Store opened.
Oh, it did?
I was there yesterday.
Yeah, the Apple Store is open, but appointment only.
Yeah, I was there yesterday. I picked up a cable. I needed a USB-C cable for my Apple Watch to charge it in my car, and I was. They asked me outside of the door what I wanted, and they brought the cable to me. So I never entered the store. But
right, that's what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Safety first.
Well, I'm glad they're open finally. That's good. It's a good sign. The bars are open. The restaurants are open. The Apple Store is open.
Movie theater should be open. That's a great thing.
Yeah, but nobody's in them. Hi, Don.
Hopefully. Hello, Don.
Good morning, Don. No volume.
He's mute.
Hi, Mary.
Hello, Mary.
Don,
Hi, everyone.
you're muted.
And Sheila, for your information, first of all, everybody can share screen today, and we can also have multiple. So if you want to show something and Jeff wants to show something on share screen, and then George as well, all that should be possible. I've enabled that thing.
All at one time?
Yes.
I'd like to try that, see how that looks.
It says multiple participants can share simultaneously.
Okay, I'm going to try it, and let's have someone else try it.
I'll try it.
And George, why don't you share your screen?
Oh, you know what? In that case, I need to put this on my iPad so I can see it. So,
George, are you sharing your screen as well?
Yep.
I don't see anything.
Hold on a minute.
I will try that something.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen right now. We have to admit Marilyn.
235 439 4.
I'm just on my iPad.
Okay, Don. We have. It says I'm sharing my screen, Eckert.
Yeah, but it doesn't really work. We only see. You see.
I was only seeing the screen I was sharing.
Yeah. It says that multiple sharing is possible, but I really don't see anything other than what Sheila is showing.
All right. Well, let's try it sometime later.
Wait,
Later.
I'm looking. Don't stop. I'm looking. I'm joining on my iPad to see if Eckert lets me in. I want to see what the rest of the audience would see.
We got to start the meeting.
Well,
Start your meeting.
Can we start? Can we try this later or whenever?
Yep.
Thanks. Eckert, take us back to normal.
Yeah, I think, let me see.
I'm sharing my screen right now.
Yeah, and that's what we all should be seeing. I see your keynote presentation.
I see it too.
I do too.
So you start the meeting, George, now?
Yeah, how many people are here?
Well, I
John
see
here.
9 participants.
Okay. 9 participants. Is Marilyn here?
Yes?
Okay. All right, good morning, everybody. The
Morning.
Morning.
board meeting is officially starting. Let's have a motion. Mary, will you show us the minutes briefly here? They're right here. Here are the minutes from our July meeting. Can we get approval?
There is one correction.
Yes.
Ed, do you want to talk about the correction or do you want me to?
Go ahead.
Ed has two other mugs that he belongs to, one in New York and another one in Naples, not NMUG, but another one. And he has combined his New York and that other mug group of Naples into one group. And 8 of those members have joined NMUG. 8 of the members of that combined group have joined NMUG. I think I didn't explain that well in last month's minutes. So that's the reality. That's the accurate rendition of what's going on with Ed and his mug groups.
Ed, that's great.
That's right.
They all seem to be happy so far.
So as far as I could tell, they're the early adopters.
Okay. Now we just have to make sure they convert and pay their dues.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I move that with that exception, the minutes from the last meeting be accepted.
Do we have a second?
Second that.
I second.
All approve, say yay.
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 All approved. Ed, do you want to talk about the promotion at all? These are the most up-to-date sheets. 46 have signed up, 4 to go, and we hit the goal of 50. We just had somebody sign up yesterday, Ellen Watts from New Hampshire.
Well, I think it's been that's yeah.
We're losing your sound, Ed.
New Hampshire, yeah, right. Well, the thing works out pretty well, better than I really thought it was going to. I really think that instead of trying to get to 50, we need to shut it down, because you get somebody signing up today, big deal, free membership, they're going to get an invoice in 2 weeks anyhow. So it's like, it's not such a big deal anymore.
1 month free.
But,
Although
well, they got a free month to get an invoice like right away.
Yeah.
Because we're sending out invoices for renewal.
First month free.
We've gotten 2 in the last 2 days. If you want, if the majority want to close it down, that's fine with me.
Well, my suggestion, because I manage all of that, and I'd like to voice my opinion on it, I don't want to close it at this time. I want to leave it open for a few more days. The reason being that we still have people who want to try it out, test the system, and they are from England or from somewhere in the United States. They're not residents here in Naples. They say, we would like to, can you please send me an invite? I'm very interested in this particular topic. And they don't intend to become a member. So I'm telling them, no, I'm sorry, the policy is only members can join, but we have a promotion going. You can join right now for free. You have a month. The entire month of October, you can test various presentations, and you're under no obligation to then pay your invoice. And honestly, Ed and all the rest of you, this is a tool that I like to maintain, to be able to offer for the next few weeks. And in fact, if they then do receive an invoice, that's okay. But it's an easy way. And I'm not saying I'm inundated with those requests, but I get one or two a week. So if with your permission, I would love to keep this window open.
I
Maybe
agree.
we should keep it open permanently. It sounds like a good marketing tool.
No, I don't want to leave it open
You
permanently.
can't keep it open permanently.
How about for 1 month? Leave it open permanently for 1 month. Your
I
first month
think-
is free.
I think we ought
And
to
you
leave
can
it open.
cancel or subscribe
No.
for a year.
No.
Why,
I think
Sheeta?
we ought to leave it open the exact duration. We said we were going to leave it open, close
Yes.
it exactly when, and maybe use this promotion on a yearly basis at the same time during the summer. I'd like to not water it down, pollute it, overdo it. It works. It's great. And I think it's important that we have discipline on these type of things. And when we say we're going to do something, we should stick with it and stay the duration of it. At least
I
that's
agree.
my opinion.
Okay, that works with me.
Okay, so let's I don't know if we need a vote or not. Does everybody sort of agree that we would leave it open the duration of which we said?
Yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, it is a great marketing tool. And the fact, I was shocked that in the last 3 or 4 days, we've gotten two additional. I thought this thing would have stopped about 3 or 4 weeks ago, but it did not. And it's kept its momentum. I put it in every single notice I send out. And Eckert's right. If anybody wants to play around and join and come to a meeting, it's a great option. And by the way, I feel very, very strong, and I'll be extremely disappointed that if we don't get at least 80% of these people to actually pay their invoice. Marty has said that he thought it would be about 50. Over a period of a year, we would lose some of them, and it wouldn't be more than 50%. I would consider this thing a real failure for myself if we didn't keep at least 80% of these people. And I really believe we will, because the ones for Ed's, I think, are going to stick with us. All the people from England are very excited to be with us. And I just don't think people would go through the trouble of even signing up if they didn't pretty much intend to stick around. At least that's my hope.
George, I'd like to ask Ed a question, because I think we would like to be able to find out a year from now whether these people actually are staying beyond a year. Is there a way to create a special field or mark them somehow, these 46 people, that they are part of the promotion, so that we can follow them a year from now? I mean, I can do it manually, but I wonder whether there's a more elegant way to do it with a system.
Thanks, Eckert. I had the exact same question.
I'm sure there's a way to do that. I'll have to look at it. I can plug something in so we can flag them.
Okay.
Can you
Good.
look at like the date? Can you look at like the date they joined? Is this field just where it says joined just truncated because of the spreadsheet is put in, or is this information incorrect? It's like 8/13/20/202. So is it just truncated, or is the information input?
Yeah, that's just truncated.
Okay.
Ed,
I don't know why.
I want to.
In the database, we have a field that shows when people join, but these 46 people didn't join on the same day. They joined within a period of time. And so maybe we can, when we do a find search on that particular field ad, maybe we can say joined between, let's say, July 15th and October 31st, 2020. Do you think is such a search possible?
Oh, sure. And I can probably do something a little easier than that. I'll look at it.
Yeah.
All right, that'll be great, Ed. And because I want to start pretty much tracking it right away, because It's really important. And then this next slide will show Eckert put together a letter that actually is coming from me, and he's been very helpful in writing a few of these letters because he's far better than I am. But this is going out already, hasn't it, Eckert?
Oh, no, I was going to, I think I wanted to get your approval, and then I was going to send it out maybe tomorrow or on the 1st of the month. You see, let me just add one thing. Normally, we send out invoices on the 30 days before the expiration date. So we would typically send out invoices to the people whose membership expires on October 31st or November 1st. We would send it out on October the 2nd. But somehow, and that would have included these 46 newcomers. But somehow, George, you said you didn't want that letter to be, that invoice to be sent before the 7th or 8th of October, and you didn't offer a reason why. And I didn't want to ask you why. But was there a specific reason why you wanted to wait? You probably didn't want to send out the invoice too early in October. Was that it? Or?
I think we said, Ed, in the original document, the original promotion, that they would receive an invoice about the 7th of October, 3 weeks before November 1st.
Oh, I see.
So if you want to have it go out with the invoice, I think the 7th would be great.
Well, I think what I will do then,
or the first. The first is even okay.
I will send out this letter on the 1st of October. I have a similar letter that the regular members get. It's a little bit different in style because they have been longer associated with our organization. But I will send out these letters to everyone whose membership expires on November 1st. So there will be 2 types of letters. And then I will send out on the 7th of the month, rather than on the 2nd, the invoices to those members whose expiration is forthcoming.
Okay.
All right, question.
I have a question for you on that I think it says you're going to get an invoice in a few weeks. And it sounds like it's in a few days or imminently.
No, I can change it in a few days.
Yeah.
All right, I have a question as well. Is this the letter that's going out that we're looking at in front of us?
Yes.
Are you going to fix the typos and the added extra stuff in here and the lettering, the different font sizes and all this extra stuff that's here, so that it?
The typos I don't see any right now, but I have used just one font. I sent this to George, and I don't know why that font was why that was changed. Maybe George changed something to make it more prominent. I don't know.
No,
Where do you
no.
get the typos?
I didn't touch
All right. All right, this needs to be fixed before you send it out.
Where do you see the typos? So just give me an example.
You have double periods after world.
Oh, I see.
You-
Okay. Yeah.
You have
Yes.
an extra space after England. You
Yes.
have these vertical bars in front of very, above the, above we, after your, and you have 2 different font sizes.
Yeah. Okay. We'll change. Thank you, Sheila. We do that.
You're welcome.
Normally I delegate.
Where do we
to
see
you.
this? Just on our screen? I don't have the letter on my computer.
No, it's on your, if you're looking
Is
at
that
your,
sent?
if you're looking at the screen that we're showing on your iPad, you should be seeing it right now.
Yeah, okay. But my question was, did I have it elsewhere? Okay.
Yes. I sent it out. I sent it to you this morning in the most updated keynote.
Oh, okay.
And
I
yeah,
don't-
Don, I'm
I don't
surprised. I
see-
was waiting for Don to say something. Do you see anything, Don?
No, I don't see it on my computer. In the keynote that I just downloaded, board meeting 200727, I don't see it on the keynote. I see the new members, but I only see one page that ends in Herring.
There's two
So
pages.
I don't see the same thing that you're showing.
Okay.
Anyway,
Uh,
go ahead.
Sheeta, can you be of any help
What
to
are you
Don why
seeing
he's
on your
not?
iPad?
I have no idea. I can't unless the screen is frozen.
Okay. Don, you have it all, and
Okay,
somewhere.
okay. Well, you're talking about new members. I have 17 paid new members this year.
Okay. Do you know if any of these are paid?
I haven't, no, I haven't seen their names. I mean, I have the names
they
of the
wouldn't.
paid people. I don't keep track of these guys. I have
Okay.
all the names. White is the last one. Kwasniak, Sharp, Buckley, Kinney, Carlin, Von Rosenberg, Dunning,
That's okay.
Stefan, Larson, Cannon, Lawrence,
Okay.
17
Right. Are you,
from
It-
January 7th to June 29th. I have no new members since June 29th. Margot White is the last paid new member.
Okay.
right.
The Crosby's done.
The all new members since then have not been invoiced, so they would not have paid.
Right, right. So I don't know who they are.
Don, didn't you receive a check from the Crosbys and they overpaid? And did you cash the check or not yet? Because I reinstated them as members.
Yeah, no, that's good. They paid, they're not new, but yeah,
They are new as far as
yeah,
they were not members for more than a year. But I reinstated them. But I don't know whether you actually cashed the check or whether you were waiting whether you should refund.
I cashed the check.
Oh, you did?
I refunded their PayPal payment and cashed the check.
Okay, good.
So they're paid.
Okay. Can we move on?
I have a question for you, George, on the, well, not necessarily just for you, George, but on the, how many of these, what percentage will actually sign up and pay for the year? Of those that are from my group, I've noticed, to the extent that I could tell, that only like 2 or 3 of them were participating and signing up and joining the regular meetings, which doesn't mean much. But I am kind of curious if Mary or if somebody has indication of any that may have opted out of the regular emails. So do we know who is opted and is not
I
getting the
need to know
emails?
who those 8 people are. I don't know which among our members are the 8 people from your group.
Well, I think with any of those 46, can we tell
Oh,
who of the
okay.
46 have opted out? So that would be interesting, because if they've opted out already, there's probably a good chance they're not going to sign up.
Okay, Mary, you
I
can do
can
that
check that.
afterwards.
check that.
Right.
Okay, and I'll let you know, Ed.
Yeah, we
Thank
should, that's a good point, Ed. We should know. I would hope that they've all stayed with us. So unless
I would
some of
too.
them were unsubscribed prior to MailChimp, which is often the case we're running into.
Yeah.
But okay, well, that's that's good information we should have. Hopefully, all 46 of these people are still in MailChimp, and they have all been hopefully put in MailChimp.
Yes, they have.
Okay. This is basically, I asked this question, I guess I'll ask this question each time we meet until we kick into gear. Ed and Eckert, are all systems set for Zoom class registration for November 1st? Are we ready to roll?
The simple answer is yes. There's one thing I sent to you, George, and to Eckert. There's some wording that we need to fix on that registration screen, talking about, this is all meetings will be held at such time and place. So we got to need to put the Zoom information in there.
Eckert, did you get that? I thought you would answer that letter.
What was your question?
I don't, well,
George was asking a question while Ed was still talking.
I'm sorry. You received that. We both received that letter, and they needed some information for the bottom of the letter. And he had indicated what information he needed, and I think that information would be best if it came directly from you because it was related to Zoom. Do you remember seeing that letter?
No, I don't know. Really, right now, I don't know what you're referring to.
Ed, can you send
Yeah,
Eckert the
yeah, I
letter
can do it
again?
again. Basically, it showed a picture of the registration screen, the place where people go to sign up for the classes. And in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a box that has, and I'm not looking at it right now, it has a box that says all meetings are held, you know, at the NABOR facility, you know, what it had, whatever we had last year. And it's fun to refresh that text to say the right things. Other than that, I've tested it. I believe that it's all working fine. It's got the proper classes in there and so on. The appropriate invoices will go out, and that should be all set to go. The only other exceptions come along a little later, and that's something we need to work on, is the email messages that are automatically sent to people after they pay, and reminding them a week or two before. There was two messages we sent out. You know, I refer to as the 10-day message and the 4-day message. That's reminding people that they're signed up for this class. We need to be able to provide them some way with the link to get to the, you know, the Zoom link to get into the class and so on. So we need to review those, but we, you know, that's not November 1st, that's January 1st. We need to have that stuff ready.
Let me just
Yeah,
add
but
to, you're right, Ed. But the thing is, for all of you to understand how we are going to set up these Zoom meetings. Zoom has a possibility to set up recurring meetings, but you can also set up individual meetings. I decided not to set up the class meetings as recurring meetings, although
Right.
the way they are recurring. But if they are recurring, then they would have the identical meeting ID and the identical passcode, and it would then allow people to participate in classes for which they have not paid. So for that reason, I've decided that each class must have its own individual meeting ID, but it could have the same passcode as all the other meetings. And what we need to do is when we send out reminders, in other words, when people sign up for classes, they do not receive a Zoom invite at that time. They receive the Zoom invite for each individual meeting a few days before the meeting. And that reminder that our system is set up to send them reminders, those reminders for each meeting will then include the particular meeting ID for that class. And that we will only set up or will write these letters when the time has come. I have not, I don't plan to program these classes now. I could, but why? It's an inundation.
Right.
system.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just want the audience to know, the board to know, Ed and I will work very diligently at that. But there's nothing, I cannot say that all systems are set at this time. They are set in principle, but the details have to be filled out as these classes become forthcoming.
Correct.
Any questions?
Ed, can we test it with the board a week early?
Sure.
Okay.
You're talking about testing to sign up for, yeah, you can test right now. But like I said, we've got that one change to make on the registration screen, a little detail. But yeah, if you signed up for a class today, you signed up and you got an invoice for it.
Okay.
Let me just add to you. I mean, I think we probably send out 2 reminders before each class, and one maybe 10 days before, and one just 2 or 3 days before. The reminder just 2 or 3 days before also includes access or link to the notes.
Right.
But what I cannot do and do not want to do, and really please don't force me to do it, is as we are approaching 9:45 on a Saturday morning, and people then ask me, Eckhart, where is my invite? At that time, we need to concentrate on setting up the classes so that the Zoom system works. I cannot then search my files and find out who is that person and send that person then an invite. I mean, I probably could, and there may be a few exceptions because I know our membership by now. There are some people, they never have their invite ready. but in principle, I hope that the reminder they get 2 or 3 days before the meeting, which include the links to the notes and also the link to join the meeting, that they don't misplace it. It is a terrible task for me sitting there between 9:30, 9:40, setting up the host, the co-host, making sure that all the systems are go, and then people come in with the request, Eckhart, I need an invite.
Eckert,
I
if you
agree.
was, I agree too, but we're going to have probably those few that do it. And do you want to get Michael Schleider maybe involved in this process so he could back you up?
Well, I wonder, I mean, we will have a moderator. We will probably still have a waiting room, and Mary is there. Well, I probably, no, I don't want Michael Schleider at this time. Just for function like that, he's a very good man and very knowledgeable. We can do what we could do, perhaps one class that he runs it instead of me, just so that we have a backup. But not, I probably can have, I'm just thinking, because these links are not individual for the classes, they are just one meeting ID. I can probably have a message ready, a draft message, and just on a click, if somebody does call me or sends me a message at 9:44, Eckhart, I need help, I can join the class for which I paid so dearly. I probably am able to send out on a,
Okay.
I probably, thinking about it, I can do it.
Okay, so it's not an issue. Okay, so everything, I understand that I'm okay with what you guys have just said, and we'll move on. Pretty much, I've already alerted, I think twice or 3 times, the membership that and have notified them as to the classes and so forth. And Jeff, this is basically a slide I put up for you. And my question to you also is, on the 28th of October, you and Eckert are going to be making a presentation to the group on our classes. And if I want to make sure you're aware of that, and hopefully you're planning to be at that meeting. And
I'll be there. And
okay.
the question about Joe Kissel, he's confirmed for October 21st for a Big Sur introduction at the Wednesday meeting. And he's also confirmed for the iCloud class on March 6th.
Okay, hopefully you tie in all the instructors to this presentation. I think that would be a great idea if you could.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send out a link to remind them, so for the 28th at least.
All
yes.
Right. And Eckert will probably have to get with, that'll have to be a meeting on the Tuesday before or something, or Monday, to figure out how we're going to deal with sharing screens and so forth and so on.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So the classes are all, pretty much everything's been put to bed, except, the last minute details that Eckert was referring to.
Right.
As far as Joe
On the
Kissel,
classes, question on classes.
go ahead.
Has this been published that they can start signing up on November 1st?
Yes. I mean, we haven't triggered
Okay,
it,
so we're
but
stuck.
we said it'll be available for November 1st sign up.
Okay. Because we got the classes and all these new members with dues payments due on that same day. But we can deal with it, I guess.
Okay.
My
I'm
preference would have been not to start the class registration on the same day, but if you've already promised it, then that's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
If there's any help you need, scream and we'll make sure you get some support.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Jeff, Joe Kissel, he's aware of how we run the classes. We'll need notes and everything else and so forth. Is
Yeah,
he
he's
linked in all
prepared for
that?
that. The only, yeah, he knows about what he's got to have ready. And then the only problem is it's a time difference. So all these start at like 7 o'clock his time, but he said he'll be up and ready. So,
Okay, but the notes and everything he's aware of. Okay,
correct. He'll have those ready prior to the meeting, he said. So,
okay. Because this is our first experience with having an outside instructor. So I think we pretty much covered this page, Eckert.
When did you, I'm just curious, when did you enlist Joe to do this class?
About a month ago, I think.
it was around end of August.
End of
George, you had
August?
originally set him up as a speaker, I think,
Yeah, he's a speaker
for
at the end of
Wednesday meetings in the past.
October, and I had sent him a list of all of our classes, and I asked him if he had any ideas, and we came up with the cloud class.
Okay, I just want to know, did you know that I had been asked to teach a class as well, and that I had been scheduled, and then all of a sudden I hear that Joe? Now I'm not arguing about it. I just wish someone had told me what was going on. So that's my issue. I'm glad that we have Joe. But
Okay,
I wish someone had not.
I think that's a maybe miscommunication between Jeff and myself and you, and I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Because I put some feelers out before I knew what was going on as well. So I apologize for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Eckert and Cheetah, I put in the slides that you had given me last month, Cheetah. Any comments on these at all?
Well, I still think that we need to gather the instructors together on a meeting and make sure that everyone has what they need as far as the apps, and make sure that we know how we're going to proceed. It would be advantageous if the instructors can do some demos in the presentation and not just have a slide deck that just shows picture after picture. We will talk to the instructor to make sure the instructor, if they need a green screen, they have it. What apps they need, they have them. And I finished the template for the classes, and I'm going to send that out. If you would like to see them, I can bring that up on my screen and share with you. Give me a second to pull it up.
Do you have to unshare me, Eckert?
I can do that, yes.
Okay. Can you see?
Yes.
All right, so this is one of the slide templates that I created. This one was created for Maryland. Basically, we're going to go with this color scheme. All the instructors have to do is drop their main image in, and I'll work with them if they need to. This is the first page, and then as the pages go, they are consistent in look and layout, and they just have to drop their information in. The fonts have been set so that no fonts are added, no extra. I would prefer that no extra colors are added, like you guys did for the template that I gave to Marty, and he had that awful blue in there. So we're going to stress that no additional colors are added to the template. So we have this, it's ready. I'm ready to send it out and talk with anyone who needs help with working on it.
Cool.
Okay. And I want to thank Marilyn for working with me, and hopefully it looks good and that we'll get really good feedback and work with it, and everything will work out. So, any questions?
Looks good to me.
One request I might have, could the header be a little, maybe 20% smaller? Or do you think that, I just think that takes up too much of the screen.
The header, you have plenty of information,
Height.
plenty of real estate to put your information in. So the header is going to stay where it is. And because different people are doing different things, this header, the size that's of the, not the size of the text, but the information will change. So it's made to accommodate anything that's put up there. So it gives a consistent look
Okay.
for all the classes for everyone. So yeah, it looks a little anemic here, but when you're doing media and entertainment, it's going to get long. Okay.
Okie dokie.
All right.
Okie dokie.
All right. Back to you.
George,
I was looking at your old keynote, George, so I see the present one. Sorry about that.
Sort of screwed me up here. Hold on a minute. Okay. So you're all done, right, Cheetah?
Yes, Sheeta is all done.
Sheeta is all done.
Yes.
Oh, please God help me. Okay. Marty, is Marty with us?
No,
Marty is not with us, no.
Oh yeah,
only 8 of us.
Marty went to the doctor and he's going to slip in when he's back. Okay, so we'll
Oh.
skip this. Don.
Yes.
Eckhart, you said you had 9, but 2 of them are Sheeta. So
Yeah.
we have 8
Yeah.
right now, right?
Right.
Okay.
So who are we missing? Marty and,
Marsha,
oh, Marcia is having a colonoscopy.
oh,
Whoa.
TMI.
So we wish her well. Okay. Don.
Okay, so my note, the figure there is not complete. All the other figures are through September, except this year because we may get some dues payments today and tomorrow. And the note about the dues reminder emails, we do get, a lot of people pay as soon as they get them. Anyway, we get a lot of payments right around the end of the month and the beginning of the month, because I think Eckhart is sending the reminder out a little bit later than in the past. So I expect that it's not going to be quite as bad as it looks, because I would think that we'll get some payments today and tomorrow. But I'll send out every figure will be the same except for this year's one. I hope we get more dues, but there's no question that we're down from past years. And let's see.
We should get, hopefully we get
You had
hopefully we get a big, huge boost for October with the payment of the dues that are for all these new people, all 46 of them.
George,
Right.
Marty just joined.
Okay.
Hi, Marty.
Sorry, I'm late.
Are you done?
No, well, I was looking over the approved budget. We had budgeted 6,800 income for this year, but actually we had 7,837. So we were to the good on that, and we had planned for $4,400 expenses for classes. And we had, oh no, that was classes. We thought, anyway, we were 1,000 to the good on income and only 200 over on the expenses. We had 4,600 instead of 44. The dues I already reported. We have had no unusual other expenses. So we're pretty much on track with the budget. And let's see, that's really all I have unless somebody has questions. Oh, I would like everybody to, because I have to do the budget, planned budget next month. So if anyone has any unusual expenses or, you know, I'd like to be able to get numbers, realistic numbers to put in for the planned budget for next year. Otherwise, I just use what we did this year. So if anyone has information on that or any new expenditures planned, like are we going to buy a club computer? Is the going to be the same rental? Oh, we're not going to have in-person classes, so we'll save that.
We don't really.
$3,100.
Well, we don't. No, we aren't going to have
So we'll really
in-person
make
classes. But we might have. We don't know any. We don't.
So yeah.
We don't really know anything about the library, but I would assume we will probably not be in the library for at least the first 6 months, but I can't project the next 6 months.
Right.
The one,
And so
Marty,
we
I
don't-
think, Marty?
the one big expenditure that I know we have, the 3-year deal with MCS and the license for FileMaker it expires at the end of next year, at the end of 2011. So we got to make sure we budget whatever that is. I'll try and get a better idea, but just to put it on your radar.
Okay.
Marty,
We paid 3 years, 2 years ago, and at the end of this year it'll be, or at the end of next year it'll be up.
Okay.
Marty, I'd like to just ask you a couple questions while he's talking about the budget for next year. Can we possibly entertain the idea of putting maybe $5,000 into a potential outreach program of some type? And then, you know, in the next few months, maybe we'll come up with something that's very worthwhile in the community. But we probably should plan on a budget for next year for some outreach. Any questions?
Okay.
Marty, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think Mary was working on something.
And Mary, right. Yeah.
With the,
Well, I mean, we need to have a budget where we allocate some money for it, and then we look at the different options that we have. There's one option that I would like somebody to touch base with Dennis. Dennis DiGiacomo is working with a very interesting situation that I think could be maybe worthwhile for us to be involved in. But I think we at least need to allocate some money in the budget. So if we do anything of that nature.
I don't know anything about the Dennis thing. Who's working on that?
No, nobody's working on it. I had talked to Dennis, and he had mentioned to me a new client that he had that he was doing all this website work for and so forth. And it was basically, I didn't really get into it, but it sounded very interesting and something that we might want to talk about and get. Do we have, we sort of think that you're heading up the outreach program. Is that correct?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No,
What are you
I
laughing
think
about, Mary?
I think Mary was.
It was in
Mary-
last month's minutes. Marty was heading
Mary
it
had
up,
the
and
idea.
I ended up getting a grant request from the Collier School District, and I forwarded it to Marty, the head of the outreach committee.
Okay. Well, why don't you just go ahead and head it up, Mary?
Oh, because you got me doing 80 zillion other things, but Marty, do you want to head it up?
No.
Okay, I will head it up. Just give us a taste of what Dennis DiGiacomo's charity is
I
about.
I really can't. You need to talk to Dennis.
Okay, okay.
I'll help you, Mary.
You'll talk to
Yeah,
him,
but I
Marty?
would like to know about these. When we're meeting with the attorney, I would like to know what it is that you're planning for these large expenditures to, and see if it's authorized for a 501c3.
Okay,
So if they could let us know
No,
before
we're not ready yet for
October
that.
6th.
We're not going to be ready to make a decision on who the outreach, who exactly we're going to give money to by that point. What we can discuss possibly with the attorney is, can we?
Yeah. What general things can we do? Yeah. Okay.
Right. So that's, yeah. I mean, because we're not going to be locked in or committed by that time to anything.
so Don is supposed to allocate 5,000 as he plans next year's budget?
That's what I'm suggesting. That doesn't mean we have to spend it, but we have to have a budget in order to, to entertain the idea of doing it.
Well, we
I
have,
agree.
we've always planned, like the Friends of the Library. I'm going to plan another 2,500. That's what we gave them this year.
Right.
So
Right.
anything else will go. Yeah.
This
right.
would be in addition to. And we don't have to do it. I mean, I want the board to make sure we agree. So when we discuss the budget, we will agree or not agree on that.
Okay.
Okay.
And okay. The anything else on the budget, Don?
No, that's it.
Okay. Why does
But we'll still be making a lot of money if we don't have to spend that $2,900 for at NABOR, and we're still charging $15 for classes. Is that what the payment
15?
is going to be? You're changing that any 15 and 24?
yes.
Okay.
Everything is sort of up in the air as far as the future is concerned, but for next year, you are correct.
Okay.
And that's one of the reasons I would encourage us to look at it at this outreach. I just got a notice from a MAC group that they had that we might want to give them some money. There was a MAC group in Connecticut that's got about 100 members, and they got $1,200 in their budget. We might want to.
And we're going to give them money? Why?
No, I'm just kidding. Joke. I said that for
Detroit's
Don.
first on the list for money, right?
All right, Marty, the website update, please.
You have the slide. So I made this one up. Did we talk about board member yet? No?
We haven't, no, we're waiting for you to talk.
Okay, so 3 board seats are up for election, George, Jeff, and Marilyn seats. I put it that way because I'm not sure everybody's gonna run, continue. The 2 vacancies by John and Conrad were filled only until the next meeting, so they have to be on the ballot. That means Ed and Mary will be re-elected or elected on their own right. And that means with 5 board seats, when the committee goes out for the election, they'll have to decide who's in the 3-year category and who's in the 2-year category for continuations. Because
Who decides that?
Jeff, George, and Marilyn's seats are going to be 3 years, and then the others will be continuing on the other things. So that,
Marty, who decides that?
the people who fill those seats, George, Jeff, and Marilyn, will decide that. If you run again, you're in a 3-year seat. If Jeff runs again, he's in a 3-year seat. If Marilyn runs again, she's in a 3-year seat. And then John and excuse me, Ed and Mary are in the continuation of the others.
All right,
We
so
have
there's
staggered
nothing,
for the new, for Sheeta and Mary, we have staggered 3-year terms.
Mhm.
So, you know, George, Jeff, and Marilyn are 3 years starting this year till 24, and so forth and so on.
Marty, my question is, who decides that?
What do you mean?
Which line they fall under?
Well, if you run again, you're in a 3-year seat because you're in.
No, I understand the three of us, George, Jeff, and Marilyn. I'm just talking about the new ones.
Ed and Mary are just continuing the terms that they would be in the seat in the terms that they were in for John and Conrad. So I think they're due 2 years from now or something. I think they're due 2 years from now.
Okay, so is there any decision that needs to be made on anybody then?
No,
Okay,
George,
yes.
this is Marilyn here. I would not be able to do another 3-year term.
Okay,
So you would need to put somebody else in there.
well, we actually have positioned ourselves in a situation that we could possibly not fill that position. And Marilyn, usually you share that information with me and I talk you out of it before you say it.
apparently not this time.
Apparently you didn't give me that opportunity.
You always have an opportunity to talk to me. Anyway.
Well, I had no idea that, this
We
was
understand.
coming up until yesterday, so.
We understand. We understand.
Next
Okay.
slide. So, so the website has been updated. Video links are in place now. I changed it a little bit because I really didn't like the stuff on the left-hand side of the when it's on a PC or a Mac. So hopefully that's okay. Class descriptions are on the site, and you asked me whether or not we're ready to go, unless Ed or Eckhart tell me something or Jeff tell me something different. I'm assuming the process is the same as last year's, and we'll just have to test it to verify. But the links are all in place still, and we should be able to just plug in the new links and go on. Shouldn't be an issue. The rest of the stuff is what I think everybody knows. No sign-ins are required. Admins and boards do have to sign in if you're going to go try to find something that's not public. And when classes start, my thought was I would just restrict the access to any materials, not put it on the website for public until you all decide that you want it to be public. And then it would just be a private link to whoever is taking that class, which I think is the way we had talked about doing it earlier. And the rest of it is not anything new. I'm continuing to work on updating the sites and board only pages for the minutes and stuff, so you can easily access that by yourselves. And website tutorials are hidden and in development, and some of them are there. So any questions?
The only thing, because of Zoom, Eckert, will you take a look at, whatever we need to do on the website, if there's anything different than in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I need to read really what we are going to tell our people. Marty, before you joined our meeting today, we briefly talked about the way we structure the Zoom meetings. We will send out an important reminder just a few days before each class that message contains the link to the notes as well as the link to join the Zoom meeting. And I guess the notes will be available on our website. And those recipients of those messages with a link to the notes will then be able to access the notes. If somebody else gets a hold of such a message, that person will also be able to access the notes, but we don't assume that is the case normally. But that's the way we plan to do it. And I think that's the way we set up the system.
My concern about putting the notes on the website is that because of the way we've got it structured now, I don't have a way to restrict access to that website if anybody else gets the link. So my thought was we would put them on the iCloud drive, and that way I can restrict it to just the emails that you send me.
All right, you're on video, honey.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yes. No.
Can we meet him? Can we meet your other half?
Chris, come here.
Uh-oh.
Poor Chris.
I wanted to see the lucky guy.
Oh, hold on a second, because he can't hear you. I got my earphones on. Come here. This is my husband, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Welcome to
said-
Naples, Florida. You should
they
come
said-
visit.
He said, welcome to Naples, Florida. You should come visit.
We just wanted to see the lucky guy that was married to the lucky woman.
Chris, are you a guru? Are you a computer guru also?
Hold on. I don't think he can hear. Hold on. He can't hear you. Hold on.
I hope he's a Mac user.
Hold on.
No, that's okay. Better he shouldn't.
Can you say something?
We just wanted to meet I wanted to meet the lucky man that was married to the lucky woman.
Oh, well, hello.
And yes, he has an iPhone. He doesn't have a Mac computer. He has an iPhone though.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Continue
Okay.
on.
Where were we, Marty?
No, I was just responding to Eckhart's question. I think if we put them on the website, anybody with a link can access them because I don't have a way to restrict that link anymore. It's either private or not, you know.
As long as it's a simple process.
It's just a different link.
Are you talking about the class notes?
Yes.
They're going to be private, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And the video will be unlisted on the YouTube website with a link that goes, the link that they'll have to get to that will go directly to the class, people that took the classes and none others.
Okay.
And
Until sometime in the future, right?
yes, we will, if there's an example of one so far, Jeff's class last year was unlisted, and we only shared the link with the people that took the classes. And it appears that many of them have looked at the notes, or the video.
But that video is not listed on the website right now, and that's a year old.
It's on the YouTube website as unlisted, right?
It's not on our website.
No. I don't believe so. If it is, it says unlisted, but I'm not sure. I don't think it is.
Well, I didn't put it there, so.
Well, I'm the one that usually puts them there. So I'm not sure if I did or not. I probably did not for that reason. Okay. All right, let me talk about the nominating committee a minute. Every year at this time, we have to have a nominating committee that proposes the information to the members, and we put it out for a vote in what, January, Marty? Marty?
December, the election's in January.
Okay. We need 3 people on the nominating committee, and the way the the way the board is, or it's set up in all the information on the group, is that the president picks one, and I have picked Bill Nice. And I've asked him to head up the nominating committee. The board of directors needs to pick one. Eckert, if you can organize that, I'd appreciate it. And it has to be a member, nobody on the board. And Natalie has been one of those people in the past. Carl has been one of those people. And then I have picked Bill Nice. And then I also asked Scott Silver to volunteer, if he would volunteer at the meeting this week to be the volunteer from the membership. And he has agreed. So I'm going to ask for a volunteer.
To do what?
To be on the nominating. In other words, there's one person that's comes from the MAC group that's picked by the membership. There's one that comes from the group that's picked by the board of directors, and there's one that's picked from the group that I pick. So Bill Nice is my pick. I've asked Scott Silver if he would volunteer to come from the group. If we just ask for a volunteer, we'll probably get no response. So we usually go out there and ask somebody to volunteer if they're interested. And Scott responded positively.
Volunteer to do what?
Be
on the nominating committee.
Okay, I guess I'm not understanding what the nominating committee does.
Nominate people to be the directors.
Okay.
I should give you a little background. We have a very elaborate bylaw process that was put in place 20 years ago that says we have this sort of egalitarian way of picking our nominating committee, and then they go out and find, quote, volunteers. One of my concerns for the future, we're locked into this already, but one of my concerns for the future, George, is I think getting the same people on this nominating committee, all, more or less the same people, we should look for other people to do this. And we should look for other people to be on the board. I would like to suggest that at my meeting in October, next week or whatever it is, that we put this up, tell people what we're doing, and ask for more board volunteers, people to replace Marilyn and to follow on our footsteps, sort of thing. We need new people to do this.
I agree with that, and I will send out a note to the group requesting requesting members to let me know let us know if they're interested in being more active in the group, board committees, board members, or whatever. Jay is currently, although I haven't seen him for a long time, is currently helping Marty, I believe, still with the website.
I haven't seen or talked to him in months.
Okay. So, but anyway.
George, you asked me to suggest a member to become part of the nominating committee, right?
Correct.
And if anyone on the nominating committee, would that person be automatically excluded from becoming a candidate?
Well, Bill Nice is already on the nominating committee, and Scott Silver is.
Yeah, I mean, could Bill Nice, if someone says Bill Nice should be on the board, is he excluded from that because he's on the nominating committee?
No, but Bill, I asked Bill that on an annual basis.
Oh.
Okay. If he decided he wanted to be on the board, we'd have to find somebody else to replace him.
Okay. Okay, that's because I have a good board. I have an idea for someone to serve on the board, but I cannot suggest them to be part of the nominating committee then. because that would eliminate him from joining the board. Okay, I
Mitch
understand.
should be on the committee.
Why couldn't he be both?
Well, that's difficult if you're on the nominating committee and you nominate yourself.
I don't know, Marty.
That's been done before.
That's what Dick Cheney did. You know, he got to be vice president.
Okay, Marty, can
Mitch would be one.
no, we've
To
already.
that. He's not interested, I don't think.
He's not interested.
He knows a lot of people. You want people, somebody who knows other people. You can't just have some random person who doesn't know anybody.
Right. That's the reason that I guess Bill has been through it before. He understands it. He gets very involved. He's very interested in remaining active in the group, but not at a board, not on the board. He's been on the board. He doesn't, and he's got some, different health issues and so forth. And he does enjoy being involved in the, but we really, as Marty said, should let the membership know that anybody that has any desire, I mean, we might want to start talking to Michael Schleider. I have talked to Wayne Mertz over the years. He hasn't, I don't think he's interested. He hasn't taken me up. And I've talked to him extensively about it. And
Yeah, he'd be a good one.
okay.
But I'm saying for nominating, you need somebody who knows people, and Mitch would be one. He's not interested in running, but he knows a lot of people.
That's a good point.
Just
So
like
Eckert,
Bill
you might,
Nice does.
Eckert, you might
And
want
Scott
to touch.
Silver.
Okay.
Well, Scott Silver is one.
Okay. Good.
Eckert, you might want to talk to Mitch.
Yes. I would.
But there's a whole large chunk of people, a lot of new ones. And I would even encourage looking at possibly Mike from London. With the world today operating on Zoom and so forth, the nominating committee doesn't have to all be located in Naples.
True.
In my opinion. Okay. Wednesday's meetings.
Can we go back to a question for Marty on the website?
Sure.
Okay, if I go to membership and it says update your database information.
Are you
and
hearing
then it
my
comes to
Siri?
another page where I don't hear, no.
No.
What did you ask?
Okay, so then you go to another page that says, click here, update your database information here. And then it takes you to a page that says, sign in to open NMUG members. And it asks for an account name and a password. If I'm Joe Schmo, new member, and I want to update my email, what is my account name and what is my password? Or do I just click sign in?
No.
You read the page before and it gives you the instructions on what to do.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Enter update
All
and
right.
you leave the password blank and it takes you to the FileMaker database.
okay.
Then you put
Thank
in your
you.
name and your UG number.
Okay, I see that. Thank you.
Any other questions on the?
We have a logistical problem because what we would really like to do is put those instructions at the top of the page that says enter your password and your account. But because of FileMaker, we're not permitted to do that. We have to put it on the prior page and make it as bold as we can for people to read it.
Yeah, thanks.
That's the same process that they'll follow to check their class registration on the page about classes where it says check your registration, we take them to the FileMaker database and we do the same thing. But the instructions are on the
Okay.
page before the FileMaker page.
I would recommend maybe removing the underline from update your information. It's not a link, but it's not green. I guess everything that's a link is green and underlined.
I'll look at that.
What was that, Marty?
Thank you. I just said that on one of the pages, there's something that's underlined, but it's not a link.
I got it. I'll look at it.
Okay, I have listed here the Wednesday meetings that are scheduled for the fall. Any questions on these Wednesday meetings?
Well, you changed the October 21st meeting, and the holiday meeting is now November, and the first week of December is now me instead of Bill.
Let me try to keep up with you here. October the 21st is Joe Kissel. Bill Nice, I'll have to take that off of there. Yeah, the first week of December, I'll fix that. That'll be Bill Nice on Apple devices and healthcare. Then what was your third one?
No, so I mean, what I have on the website is Bill Nice is December 2nd. I'm not doing December 2nd.
Right. Yeah.
Sheeta's meeting was about gifting. I thought that was October 21st.
No,
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 no.
It's November.
it's November. It's going to be either November. It's going to be November 18th, and it's called Holiday Gift Guide.
Okay. So I think that's probably wrong on the website. I'll fix both those. Okay.
No, Sheeta is scheduled for November 20th, or November 18th, just as it is. And it's called the Holiday Gift Guide.
Mhm.
Okay, I got it.
And are you switching with Mitch, or is that not an issue anymore?
I don't think it's an issue, but if I need to, I'll just talk to Mitch and we'll see if we need to switch something. But as of right now, it can go exactly as it is.
Okay, great. I also went ahead and have pretty much scheduled the Wednesday meetings in the first half of 2021. Sheeta and Ed are going to be switching off for the first Monday of every month. And Mitch will continue to do the 10th. And then speakers, either inside or outside, will be doing the last week, except for the January meeting. The last week will be the annual meeting. And I really would like, at that meeting, if Marty could spend quite a bit of time talking to our members about the website.
I have
and
it on the calendar.
how to go through it and so forth. You can see we have Rosemary Orchard coming back the last of February. Christian Boyce, who was a very excellent speaker. We have actually Dale, we're on the 17th of March, where it's Conrad / sometimes I put a couple of people in there are not finalized yet, but that's going to be Dale Stevens, who is the in charge of the president of the MAC group in Midland, who's a member of our group, and he's going to talk about DuckDuckGo. Dennis has agreed to do a meeting. We have Gary Rosenzweig coming back the 21st of April, Kerry Kursky the 28th. I think on the 19th of May, it'll probably be Muffy Clark, who is going to try to round up 3 or 4 artists in the group and talk about how they utilize the Mac in their artwork. It was an extremely successful meeting years ago. And she brought it up to me, and I think we ought to retry it again. And everything else is sort of self-explanatory. Wayne is going to do a couple presentations. And then I have
Website?
Wayne.
Can I put these on the website?
Yeah, but they have to be flexible to change.
Sure.
Yeah. Also, Mike from London has agreed to do a meeting actually in November of 21. And I can't exactly remember what we talked about. So I'm already into the basically the second half of 2021 at this point.
You're done with this whole calendar year, or?
Yeah, but things do change periodically. Something comes up, and at the last minute somebody can't make it, or whatever, or I find something better than what I already had scheduled. And then the next board meetings, if this is okay with everybody, this is what the schedule would look like.
Oh, why do we need one a month? Jesus, George.
Thing on the treasurer.
And only the people who are concerned meet on December 28th. I don't see that the treasurer needs to attend a meeting on December 28th. November 30th would be when the budget is approved. October 26th is when I would present the budget for approval and revision.
So we should, all
So
of our
November
meetings,
30th, we should.
so all of our meetings should be revolved around the budget, the treasurer's wishes?
No, I'm just saying, people should meet, if they've got something to do, those people should meet. We don't
No.
all have to meet.
Yes, we do. I mean, I think we do. So in other words, if you don't have anything to say, you don't have to come.
That's just before the annual meeting in
Yeah.
January. What the heck?
You might want to know about what else is going on.
That's to start a week later.
I can read the,
George,
okay.
I'd like to bring up something else.
You're not on the board anymore.
It's for
Near my January.
Go ahead, Marilyn.
Okay, it's about the questionnaires after the meetings. I did them the first couple of times, but I kind of found it annoying to have to do it every time. So I haven't done it every time. And the other thing I had, the questions are good. The problem is some of the questions, the positive answer is the high number, and some of the questions, the positive answer is the low number. And
Marilyn, that's been straightened out. Mary
Oh,
straightened it out.
okay, all right. So because I haven't done the last couple of ones, so maybe that's been fixed. Okay. Anyway, I don't know how people feel about it, and I don't know if it's, I mean, you've got these meetings all planned already.
Let me sort of tell you where I'm coming from on this, and if and we can discuss it on right now on the board if you choose to. Where I'm coming from.
Necessarily, you don't have to, you don't have to discuss it. I've just.
No. I'm glad you brought it up because I'm sure it's on a lot of others' minds, and anyway, the logic behind this is when I was getting concerned that I was getting concerned that our members, that we did not have a strong feeling one way or the other of whether we were satisfying our members with our meetings on Wednesdays. I mean, we never had a survey basically, and we've had a questionnaire that went out a couple years ago and asked for suggestions. But and what I did basically is I had been to one of the meetings from the Chicago group, David Ginsburg's group, and immediately right after the meeting, I received a survey, which is basically the survey that you're looking at. I basically encouraged Mary and myself to copy that exactly verbatim, and we did straighten out some of the questions. And by the way, because we did straighten them out, now we're getting some 5s where people, I think, are assuming that it's hasn't been changed and they just roughly go through it. But I thought I'd like to see this thing run actually, and leave it alone, leave it exactly the way it is. And we fixed the, the numbers around a little bit, but let it go so we can get a feel for generally all of our speakers through the end of June. Now, and then we'll sit down and as a board, then we'll stop it. And we'll basically stop it. I mean, it'll be the summer. And I just want to use the same survey to evaluate every single meeting until then and see if there's any big variances or anything else. And the reason I like to keep it pretty much the same is so that everybody is evaluated against the same questions and we don't change the questions midstream. Also, I wanted to make it a very easy, fast, and quick thing to do. We are getting anywhere between 50% to about 80% that fill out the survey, which I think is outstanding. At first, I thought if we had a 20, 30% response, that would be good. If anybody feels very, very strongly that our members don't seem to resent it, I don't think. From the ones that answer it, they seem to sort of enjoy answering it. And if there's any strong feelings from the group, yeah, please, we can certainly discuss it. I just like to know for a period of time, a longer period of time, how they accept our meetings and everybody's weighted equally.
When did you fix the numbers so that they are consistent?
Mary did about I think for 2 weeks now, they've been consistent.
Well, I took a screenshot of the questionnaire last week, and the numbers are still inconsistent. As far as very satisfied, sometimes is 1. Not did you have difficulty connecting? That's instead of it being a 5 or being a 1, it's a 5. So
I'll double check, Ashita. Thank you.
yeah.
Well, George, I would let me compare Mitch's meeting and Glenn's meeting. Now, for a lot of our members, Mitch's meeting would be more appealing because I think it was not as advanced as Glenn's meeting. Glenn's meeting was very good, and all the quality of all the meetings have been fine. However, depending on the topic and the presenter, the level of the meetings are different. And our membership, some people are not as sophisticated or experienced, and some people are very high end. So I don't know, unless we're looking for a specific thing, I don't know how that's going to help us.
What I'm curious is if the majority of the people that attend the meeting are enjoying the meeting or not.
Well, I'm thinking now, are we presenting meetings that serve the needs of our group? And
sure as hell, I'm trying to.
I understand that, but I don't know that is getting at that. I don't know.
Well,
Well,
then, so then what I'm saying is if we could allow this survey to continue through whatever period of time, and then we sit down and we'll come up with some summary of all the, somehow we'll come up with a summary of all the information. And then we can go back and talk about exactly what you're talking about. I wanted it to be as simple as humanly possible. I didn't want to have a different kind of survey for different kinds of presentations. I was just trying to keep it simple.
I know, but with the question that Marilyn just posed, you're trying to hit a moving target because you have varying degrees of knowledge with each member of the group. So you're serving at some meetings, you're serving some and not serving others, and that's going to be the case all the time.
But I'll still.
Just as a comment, when we started this, I was suggesting that we add questions about content and instructor performance and that kind of thing, curriculum basically, and George and Mary sort of started with this Chicago survey, and then we'll tweak it as time goes on. So the idea was run this for a while, let's get through the year, and then we'll reevaluate over the summer, and we'll do a different survey next year.
Well, but I think again with the survey and with the people who are with the members, you have some who don't know a lot, you have some who know a lot. So your meetings, regardless of what they are, will appeal to some, not to others, appeal to others, not to some. That's just how meetings go. You cannot cater to one at the expense of the other. So, you know, some people will, like with my keynote meeting, someone said that they just couldn't follow it. Someone said, excellent information, glad I now know more about keynote. So you can't balance it. You just have to do a good presentation, and people will pick up what they pick up, or it might be over their heads, or it may be too primary for them.
I think what I would have been concerned about, Sheeta, with your meeting, is if of maybe the and there were quite a few people that actually responded to the survey for your meeting. If let's say 80% of the people said it was above their head, and then I would have been really concerned. If if a couple, like you say that, I would expect that, absolutely expect that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I'd like to leave the questions consistently. And I'm assuming that some meetings, like Glenn's meeting, there were some responses I think that were similar to that. You know, I'm really not going to necessarily use Zoom, or I'm not going to use Keynote or whatever. But you know, I just thought I'd like to see something go through for a while, see what the general feeling is.
I'm fine with it.
Can somebody tell me how to get rid of Siri?
How to turn her off?
Yeah.
I believe you do that in
Or
preferences.
I can't find my mouse. I have no mouse. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So I go to preferences.
And you go to the Siri icon, and there's a button to disable Siri.
Or do not disturb, I think, turns it off.
Click Siri up at the top. Click Siri. And deselect the enable button.
Okay. Do you hear Siri when she's speaking?
No, I just hear the ding.
Okay, so you don't actually hear it. Okay,
No.
because it's driving me crazy. Okay.
May I also say a few things about the surveys? We could do this, of course, but there's an additional approach that I'm thinking about. When we look, let's say, at the first 20 meetings or so, we can look at the list of attendees. And I think we'll find that there are maybe 30, 40, or 50 people even who have attended most of the meetings. And I think, and those are of course members and sometimes very long-term members. And can we not approach these people and get some more general approach, search them or find out what they are thinking, and maybe even have some individual talks with them, pick up the phone, talk to them to get really more information. I mean, in addition to the surveys, but I think if we're really interested, what Marilyn just said, that something, the contents go over the head of most people, and sometimes people don't mind. I'm sure there are a lot of our members who join because they have nothing else to do. They also find it exciting. They cannot follow all the, let's say, the wonderful controls that Sheila possesses regarding Keynote. They're looking at, they marvel at that. They're fascinated. They say, gee, if I wished I would had this kind of potential or knowledge. And then after an hour, they turn off their computer and say, this was a very interesting thing, although they personally didn't really benefit from it at all. But I go to an art museum and look at some paintings. I know I will never be able to do anything close. And yet I look at it and I'm impressed. And I think that also happens to some of the people who attend our meetings. And I would like to know, is it that really true? Or do they feel, no, you missed something, or you should be doing something different? So that's why I feel we should perhaps look at that opportunity to talk to those attendees who are very loyal, who come all the time, and find out what they think. And maybe they have some recommendations that are not able to express in these surveys. This is just an additional thought.
I agree with everything that's coming out. I just like to let the survey go possibly through the end of June, and then we sit down and we discuss everything we're talking about right now. And we'd have to come up, I mean, we'd have to, you know, depending upon how much detail and so, but I'm just trying to keep it as simple as humanly possible. Do you pretty much like the meeting, or do you have any, you know, it's a very loose-ended information, but I think we get some pretty good information on a weekly basis. Or we can stop it. We can totally stop the survey.
I would like to add that people will vote with their attendance. If they don't like the meetings, they won't be there. So the fact that we are getting a considerable amount of attendees tells you that they like it.
Yeah, in other words, I went to a meeting the other day. Where was I? It was a meeting, I don't know, some other MAC group. And I think there were 12 of us, and 2 of them were from our group. And they had a speaker from the outside. Oh, it was actually Inkst. What's Inkst's first name? The one that used to own Take Control, that now owns Tidbits. The owner
That's Joe Kissel.
No, not Joe Kissel.
Adam
Inkst. Adam Inkst and the
Adam and Tanya, his wife, yeah.
Adam, yeah, but it was Adam, and it was the guy that has that ongoing Chuck Joyner, okay? And there were 9 or 10 attendees, 2 of them which were from the outside, me and somebody else. I can't remember who the other person was. So she was very right. I mean, maybe I have all the information I really need, or I'm interested in, because there's nobody out there that gets 60, 70 people attending a meeting. Nobody. And now we have
out 500 invitations.
What?
Send out 500 invitations. So you're getting what, 10%?
And that's the going rate for promotions, 10%.
So
No. We're actually, you're wrong, Marty. We have 380 members, okay? And at the last couple of meetings, we've had between 60 and 70 attendees.
but my point was, you send out hundreds of invitations, right? So
I send out, if you want to call them invitations, I promote the meeting to about 430
I'm just going by
people.
my inbox.
430 people. No, you want to know the number? It's 430 people.
430 plus the 70, 60 extraneous people, right? So that's 500.
No, they're not members anymore. They can't join unless they belong to the group. So I'm only really pretty much, I'm sending that out, whetting their appetite. If they don't become a member, they can't come to the meeting. So it's about 15 to 20% maybe, which I think is outstanding. Because I think, you know, we used to do direct mail and retail, and the best response we could have on the best day would be 3 or 4%. And we're getting as high as, you know, in some cases, 15 to 20%. And we get even a better response to our classes, or have in the past.
So to me, the more important question is, are you going to do a survey for the classes?
Don't know. I mean, we should discuss that, yes. I really do not have a problem. I mean, I have found, I was getting depressed because after the meetings, we were beating each other up over how lousy our meetings were in some cases. And so I said to myself, I want to know what our members think of our meetings. And so I said, and when I got that thing from Chicago, it was simple, it was fast, it was easy. I called David, he said he got about 80% response to it. And I said, let's not invent anything, let's just send out something. And pretty much our members love our meetings. Yes, sometimes it's over their head. Sometimes, you know, they can't see it because they're looking at it on an iPhone on the train going to Connecticut. And to be honest with you, one of the reasons that I didn't want to bring it up is I didn't want to go through this. But, and I don't have any trouble right now if we stop it. And
You don't have a reason to stop it or not stop it. Just what's the difference?
Well, if you think it's annoying, or you think it's just, you know, hurting our membership at all, we can stop it. And I do agree. And if we're going to continue it, and I'm not even sure if we should continue it, because I personally hate surveys. And the only reason that I wanted to find, I was getting very depressed after our meetings when the 3 or 4 of us would meet. And, you know, if things weren't 100% perfect, we were very upset. And I said to myself, I wonder what, you know, our people are thinking of these meetings. And they're pretty much very happy with them.
Well, if you feel you got the information you need. No, I think
Okay, why
maybe
don't we go ahead?
I think maybe you should let the attendees know that the purpose is to help mold the meetings so that they better fit the group or for content, so that they know that these won't last forever. So let them know that there's a time limit on these surveys and that they're being very helpful with their constructive criticism and helping us create a better experience for them.
And the clientele is going to change as we move out of October and we get the people who are not freebie members. We're going to get the people who are paying come November, right? So the clientele is going to change, hopefully not dramatically, but.
No, they're attending our meetings now, Marty.
Yeah, but they all might drop out in October.
No, well, see, you and I have a totally different outlook on that. I really believe, I mean, if they all drop out, seriously, and I had mentioned this in an email.
Oh, you're not going to resign because we're not.
No. Then I'm a failure. I'm a failure because if we can't hold on to these 50 people and maybe 40 of them join, then this whole thing is a very, very frustrating experience.
No, it shouldn't be.
No, I get gratified when we ran this promotion and we were able to get almost 50 people to commit to be interested in joining the group. I really believe that at least 80% of them should be coming back.
George,
Yeah.
I'm sorry I brought this topic.
No, Marilyn, I appreciate the fact that you did. It needed to be discussed.
It doesn't matter to me one way or the other because I can choose to answer the survey or not answer.
No.
Exactly.
I'm glad you brought it up.
I would just add to the fact, regardless of how many people continue the membership and don't, I think these meetings have been excellent. You know, the Zoom meetings have improved so dramatically over time and they're really good. It can't be perfect every time. We do the best we can. Don't forget, this is a volunteer organization, you know?
Yeah, well, that's what, and I want to know what the members, what I was trying to do with the survey, do the members basically enjoy our meetings? Yes or no?
Give yourself a break. Give us a break. Everything's going fine. If you want to learn from the survey, good. That's all. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. I was just chiming in.
Okay. No. Marilyn, I really appreciate the fact that you brought it up. You know, just out of curiosity, why don't we, how many think we should continue the survey? Say yay.
Yay.
Sure, why not? But just for a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
How many say nay? Okay, so the survey will continue for a limited amount of time. Can we move on?
Please. Are we done yet?
No, I don't know. Is there anything else that anybody would like to discuss that hasn't been discussed? Okay, the board meetings, does anybody else agree with Don that if you don't have anything to say at the board meeting, don't show up?
No.
No.
I
is Don-
would make
Don,
a
do you-
motion, we adjourn.
Okay, Don, do you have,
We don't get paid our honorarium unless we attend a board meeting, and then it's $10,000 a board meeting.
make sure we discuss that with the attorney this week. Okie dokie, everybody, have a wonderful day and thank you very much. Or no, anybody
Wait,
want a
we
motion
need-
for an adjournment?
I did already. I move we adjourn.
Are you
I'll
sending
second.
out survey, George, are you sending out a survey for this meeting?
No. No. Do you want a survey for this meeting?
Because then we'd have to discuss the content.
All right, nobody go anywhere. We're going to spend the next hour talking about the survey for this meeting.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Got
Have a
it.
good day.
Listen, everybody, have a good day. God bless and stay well.
Be safe.
Yes,
Got it.
everybody. Thanks, George.
Yep. All right. Yep.
Thanks for letting us meet your husband. Mary.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything we have pertinent we need to talk about?
Just a couple of things I wondered about. Did Marty say that he will check with Giacomo? I think
No.
he did.
No.
Or no? I should.
No. Yes.
Okay. And then I will fix that survey. You know what? They won't allow me to make a template. So what I do is I save a copy of the survey, and I had several copies, and then I just plug in the new date. And I must have plugged the date in one of our surveys that didn't have everything arranged, so the positive was on the left and the negative was on the right. So I will go back and make sure that when we send a survey out next Wednesday, I use the copy that has every positive on the left and negative on the right.
George, when we talked about the survey, I think Sheeta said something about that the membership should know, perhaps in a little bit more detail, why we do that, because we want to improve our meeting. I think you were saying that, but she made some good comments. And I was just wondering, when you announced the survey at the opening of our session. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit more how important it is for us to get honest answers because we want to improve. I think you're already saying that, but what she said just sounded very convincing a few minutes ago.
Okay.
But I think you do that already, I believe.
Yeah, I do, but I'll try to.
At the end of the meeting, it's really important to re-mention the survey so it's top of mind with people.
But at
It's
the end,
probably better off at the end of the meeting, right before they do it. And that's the other thing. If I wish we had an ability, but we don't. But if I had a dream, but that survey would be out in the hands of the people within 45 minutes. But
You know, that was my fault. I was quite late with it the other day, 4 o'clock. I didn't get it out till 4. And Eckert had given me the attendee list long before that, but I had interruptions in my life, so I didn't get out. And I saw that was because the responses were far fewer this week than usual. And I think it's because the survey went out late.
Yeah, that's why.
I can generate the attendee list immediately after the meeting, which I did, within 5 minutes. And it's lacking some of the email addresses, unfortunately.
Well, that doesn't take me long, Eckert, because you
have this within 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes.
Okay, and I can do those email addresses within 20 minutes, and it can go out. So
all right, Mary, no bridge, no
lunch, no bridge, no lunch, no tennis. Promise.
No bathroom, nothing.
Okay, guys.
Have a great day.
Okay, goodbye.
See you tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Yes, see you tomorrow.
Good board meeting, George.
Yeah.
Thank you.